That is the report. Will go with me to page 220. At page 220, Mr. Witness.
Can I get the document?
Give him something. Give him the copy. You can get for him. Volume 3. Page 220. Can you see, confirm that those were the companies that participated in that particular tender, yes?
17 bidders.
At page 220.
Yes, there are some 17 bidders.
How many are they?
17.
Go to page 221 and you read, can you see where it is written 100?
Yes.
Can you read out that statement?
In its report dated 25th April 2023, Global Fund noted that KEMSA had failed to apply evaluation criteria consistently to all bidders and that none of the bidders met the minimum requirements.
None of the bidders met the minimum?
Requirements.
How many bidders did not meet the minimum requirement?
For purposes of this report, what the Global Fund is talking about are the 17.
All the 17. Yes. And therefore, Shobika was not an exception, correct? Shobika was not an exception. It never qualified, correct?
Yes.
Now, look at where we have page, paragraph 105. Yes, can you see where we have Roman B? So we have B. Can you see B? 105, paragraph 105B. Yes, can you read what B says?
The Global Fund document reported that the bid bond for Shobika Impex was not paginated, and the management of KEMSA argued that the bid bond was not part of the bid, but was rather an accompaniment.
What is that? What does that mean?
I think
not thinking, reading and understanding.
It means, and I had said exactly the same, that this document was not submitted as part of the tender document, but was brought in as ordinary mail, while in normal procurement, bid documents
can you look at paragraph 1? Can you go to page 222 and look at paragraph 106?
Notwithstanding KEMSA reservation, in the letter dated 4th May, the acting director procurement recommended the termination of a process.
Yes.
The CEO approved on the 5th, and termination was communicated to all the bidders.
So there was a termination of the bidding process, correct?
Yes.
As a result of non-responsiveness of all the bids, correct? As a result of non-responsiveness.
Yes, after Global Fund differed with the KEMSA Technical Evaluation Committee.
Did the Deputy President have anything to do with that?
I would not say.
Would you associate that to the Deputy President?
I am not competent to talk about that.
I am asking, do you associate that process with the Deputy President?
I cannot comment on that.
You will comment. Do you associate that?
Because I don't know.
Here we are not in a hospital, we are in a court, seeking to save the life of a man you want to be impeached. Do you associate that with the Deputy President?
I am saying, I don't know.
What don't you know?
Whether this has everything to do with the Deputy President. Because the bids were terminated by Global Fund as a result of irregular evaluation.
Irregular evaluation of how many companies?
Of 17.
17 companies.
Yes.
Thank you. Look at paragraphs 107 at page 22 222 once again. Yes? 107?
It says it was further a testimony that the authority had struggled to maintain autonomy owing to undue interference from the Cabinet Secretary for Health.
Whose authority, whose testimony is this?
I don't know.
Read paragraph, go to page 219. page 219. Can you see where you have C, submissions by Ms. Terry Ramathani?
Yes.
Therefore, this is a statement, correct?
And I would not say whether they are correct or not.
Read,
Yeah,
Mr. Witness.
They are Terry Ramathani.
So we understand who is now speaking at paragraph 17, correct?
Yes.
Read it then.
It was further the testimony that the authority had struggled to maintain autonomy owing to undue interference from the Cabinet Secretary for Health.
The authority had failed to maintain autonomy due to the interferences by?
Yes, that is Terry's statement.
Read it.
By the Cabinet Secretary for Health.
Have you seen any interference that indicates that the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya interfered with the process?
I have not
From
seen,
the report?
and I cannot on or disown.
I'm asking.
It's not my statement.
Have you seen that statement speaking to the person of the Deputy President?
It is not.
Thank
It's
you.
not mine.
And it speaks as to who was interfering with the processes, correct?
That's not my statement.
Read.
But it's not mine.
Yeah, I know it's not yours. That's
So
why
I
I'm asking
cannot
to
own
read.
a statement that is not mine.
I have not
Speaker,
asked
sir.
you to own it. I've asked you a simple thing, to read the statement as indicated. Who was interfering with the processes and the autonomy of KEMSA? According to that statement,
According to the statement, the Cabinet Secretary for Health.
what is the name of that cabinet secretary? As at then?
Not indicated.
Let's proceed as I finish up. Let's go to page 226. At paragraph 136, what is the Assembly's Parliament saying?
In the late April,
In the late April,
he learned from the Global Fund pre-award.
who
review.
learned?
I don't know.
Look at the submissions at page 225.
Myself,
Who learned?
the acting CEO, which is me,
Who was that?
me.
What did you learn?
I learned in late April that the Global Fund pre-award review report that the Air Alliance tender was to be cancelled on account of inconsistencies in the bid evaluation.
Do you still maintain with the position that you gave, or you want to?
It's exactly what I said.
That's exactly what you say.
Yes.
And therefore, that does not link or has no nexus with the Deputy President whatsoever, correct?
I think you are wrong.
What did you say?
You are not right on that one.
Read, what does the statement say? What did you say? What did you say in Parliament?
It says the Global Fund pre-award review that L9 tender was to be cancelled on account of inconsistencies in the evaluation. It is the inconsistencies in evaluation that recommended an award to a bidder that had not paginated documents,
Mr.
which
Witness.
was a mandatory
I have
requirement.
not asked you that question that you're attempting to answer. I have just simply asked you to read what you stated before Parliament. Then a question will follow. And you read in verbatim.
I have read.
Yes, read it again.
I learned that the Global Fund pre-award review report that the airline tender was to be cancelled on account of inconsistencies in the bid evaluation. And
What was the reason for the cancellation?
Inconsistencies in evaluation.
In evaluation.
Yes.
Who was evaluating that tender?
Technical Evaluation Committee.
Does the Deputy President sit in that tender committee for evaluation?
He doesn't.
Was he involved? Okay, let's look at paragraph 38. Yes? Again, what are you saying at paragraph 138?
And 38 says, he further maintained that the advisory to the PS, State Department of Public Health and Professional Study, on the alleged inconsistency in the technical specification neither passed through his office or the head of department for the strategic programs, health programs, but was forwarded directly to the PS by one Dr. Omar, the head of malaria program.
Mr. Witness, you are aware why we are here, yes?
Yes, I am.
Do you understand the charge in respect to this matter that the Deputy President is facing?
I am here to...
Do you understand?
I understand.
You understand that you allege that you are intimidated and bullied by the Deputy President, correct?
Yes, I understand.
And that is contained in your evidence, correct?
Yes.
Why were you being bullied, if at all it ever happened?
I want to believe...
Not to believe. We are not dealing with beliefs here.
Okay.
We are dealing with the facts.
I was bullied to submit bid document
Bid
for
documents. When was the tender cancelled?
in late April.
In late April. As at that time, had you joined KEMSA?
I had not.
You had not joined. When were you purportedly called by the Deputy President?
In August.
In August. At that time, was the tender alive
August or July.
or it had been cancelled?
Yeah.
At that time, was the tender alive or it had been cancelled? What happens upon the cancellation of a tender to bidders who had submitted their documents?
Bid books are returned.
Bid books are returned.
As a routine process.
As a routine process. Therefore, it is normal for somebody, a company that has bidded, to make follow-ups with the bids, correct?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And that the following of those bids for purposes of returning them to their rightful owner does not violate the Public Procurement and Disposal Act, correct?
I was in KEMSA.
Does not violate, Mr. Witness.
Does not violate.
That's the question. Thank you. Now, Mr. Witness, as I finish, you understand that you wrote several letters that you have annexed in your affidavit, correct?
Yes.
And the first letter is the one that is appearing in volume 1 of the National Assembly's bundle of document at page 70, correct?
Page
70.
70.
Correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
And that is an alleged, what document is that?
These are WhatsApp conversations between myself and Dr. Ikino Rigathi.
Yes?
WhatsApp conversations between myself and Dr. Ikino Rigathi.
How would you ordinarily be able to tell that this conversation has come from this particular platform?
One, this is on
Which
my
platform was this?
phone. WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Which number is there? And I want you to specifically look.
The number is already saved. That's why it's written Dr. Ikino Rigathi, because it's already saved on my phone and therefore cannot show the number. If I had not saved the number, you probably would have gotten the number.
When you receive a message from a WhatsApp, when I receive a message on my WhatsApp, when you send me a message, does it indicate the source?
Yes.
Does it also indicate the recipient?
I mean, that
does it indicate the recipient?
If the recipient
does it or does it not?
Whether a number or saved a contact.
So in these circumstances, where is your number that indicates that you are the recipient of this message?
There is no.
There is none.
Yeah.
And therefore this is a concoction of the truth and a fabrication and a forgery of documents.
I've sworn this under oath. My phone is still with me and can be availed to competent agencies of law to
what
investigate.
Explanations do you give for the lack of your print of the your phone number in this conversation?
This is what...
what explanation do you give?
I am not a techno person, so I cannot configure how my phone displays messages.
But you confirm that this is not usual.
This is what is on my phone. If I give you my phone and I open the conversation, it will appear as it is here.
Do you extract a certificate for this purpose? Was a certificate showing the source of this information extracted?
You will need to clarify. I am a doctor, remember. I don't know what a certificate is.
When you generate a printout from your phone, your advocate is required to certify that this document has been generated or emanated from a particular gadget. Do you see that certificate incorporated in these proceedings?
I said I don't know what that is.
There is none.
Unless my advocate shows.
I therefore put it to you that this never originated from your phone, nor did it originate from my client's son, Dr. Ikino Rigathi.
That's a lie. That's not true.
So what did you find intimidating in this message?
I said, like I said.
Would you read out what the message states?
This is Dr. Ikino Rigathi here. Kindly contact me when possible. There is a document for His Excellency we are trying to collect.
What is Dr. Ikino telling you?
There is a document he's trying to collect.
How is that intimidating?
As an acting CEO,
how is that intimidating? How did you get intimidated by that statement?
I am the one who received the message, Council, and I am the one who felt intimidated. And I am stating before this Honorable Senate that I felt intimidated.
Okay, let's go to the next paragraph, the next page, page 71. What document is that, and what is it dated?
This is 12th June, notification for tender for LLINs.
Yes.
12th June 2023 to...
what does the statement read? What's the content of the letter?
Reference is made to the above tender, which we participated in and we were unsuccessful. We wish to collect the original tender documents, that original bid bond for the same tender.
Who is the source of that letter?
Shobika.
Shobika.
Yeah.
And what is he saying?
He's saying, kindly issue the original bid bond to the bearer of this letter.
Was that anything, is there anything unusual by as an unsuccessful bidder seeking to have the refund?
Nothing unusual.
Okay, let's go to paragraph, to the next page, 72. Again, when is it dated?
30th of June.
What is it? What's the content of the letter?
I am, it's signed by me.
Yes.
To Shobika.
Yes.
And I was replying to their letter.
And what are you saying?
And I'm telling them that we want to inform them that the subject tender is under investigation and all the documents related to the tender are not in our custody, and therefore I also informed them that we wrote to Ethics and Corruption Commission.
Yes.
To release the original bid bond.
Was the tender returned? Was the bid returned?
It was not immediately returned.
Yes. Did you get a communication from the EACC in that respect?
Not immediately.
What did EACC indicate?
They indicated, and that was way later.
Did the EACC return?
They responded. Yes, they responded, but I had to personally follow up.
You had to
after
personally
the calls.
follow up?
Yes.
But was a bid returned?
I personally picked it after the calls.
When you're forwarding the bid to Shobika, in your letter dated the 11th July, can you see that letter?
Yes.
What did you indicate at the footnote?
I indicated that you may, however, be required to provide the same document as and when required.
For what purpose?
I informed them EACC had handed over the document.
Have you made any attempts to seek the return of that bid from Shobika?
I am no longer in KEMSA.
You're no longer in KEMSA. Finally, where and what became of your predecessor, Terry Ramathan?
She was discharged from the authority, I think sometimes in...
But you now understand that she's serving as an ambassador in New Delhi, correct?
I cannot confirm.
Do you live in this country?
Yes, I do.
No further questions.
Council for the National Assembly, you may proceed with the explanation.
Mr. Mullo, you were referred to certain aspects of the Deputy President's response, and I want to direct you to Volume 6. I believe Volume 6 of the Assembly's documents, Honorable Speaker, beginning at page 10 of 534. Of 534 to page, I believe it ends at page 13. Mr. Mullo, looking at those pages, that's the Deputy President's response on the allegations that you have come to testify. In that response, has he disputed that he owns the number you claim he used to make phone calls to you?
No.
In that response, has he disputed that his son, Ikinu, owns the mobile phone that was used to contact you?
No.
If those two numbers don't belong to him and his son, is that a matter we would have expected him to expressly refute in that response?
Yes.
You also shown in his response several companies that participated in that tender, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
As the deputy president intervened for any of those others except Shobika, which is linked to him?
Not a single one for the whole period that I was in KEMSA, except that one.
Should we take it again that it's a coincidence out of several international companies? The one he was harassing you about was the one linked to his own company, Crystal.
It's not a coincidence.
As a matter of fact, in that response, I'm trying to open the clause, Mr. Speaker. Clause 4.3 of his response, no, 4.3, on page 11 of 534. What does the Deputy President say in his response to the charge you have come to testify?
I am aware of a foreign company known as Shombika Impex Private Limited, domiciled in India, which appointed Crystal Kenya Limited, where my son is a managing director, as its agent in Kenya in 2014. To date, Crystal Kenya Limited has complied with agency terms between itself and Shombika Impex Limited. And there is annexed RG 18, an appointment agency letter by Shombika Impex Limited.
Is that an admission by the Deputy President himself that there is a link between Crystal, his company, and Shombika?
Yes.
You were asked about the confiscation of the bidboard by the EACC. You recall those questions?
Yes.
Was Shombika's the only bidboard the EACC was holding?
No.
Which other bidboards was it holding?
They were holding all the bid bonds for the 17 companies that had bidded in the tender.
So, in his response, as the Deputy President explained why it was necessary, if all the bid bonds are confiscated, for the one for Shombika to be released?
Not any that I've seen.
Of those 17 companies, which one was recommended for the award of the tender?
Shombika Impex.
Which one was awarded after the cancellation and the repeat?
The tender was cancelled and the procurement was done, was directed
Mr. Speaker, we want to object to that line of questioning. That never came in my cross-examination. He's opening new grounds. He has to limit himself to the content of my cross-examination.
Objection overruled. Proceed, Counsel for the National Assembly.
Mr. Speaker, I even lost my thoughts on during the...
You had asked the procurement. The procurement was done by the Global Fund in Geneva.
Yes.
Through their global system, WAMBO. And the tender was awarded to one of the companies that had bidded, based in Tanzania, I cannot remember the name, and another one from India, I think Yokur or something, through the Global Fund system.
You have been told, sir, that your testimony is